we go. Sweet. I think I'm sweet on this end. You're
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. No, I can hear everything.
All
Yeah,
right.
all good.
Anything you don't want to talk about before we fucking jump straight in?
Nah.
You're all good,
Tell you.
mate.
Yeah,
You're looking
anything you
fucking
need to know.
yeah. You're looking, mate. You're looking fucking pretty jacked, bro, compared to the photos I've seen on your page,
Uh, yeah, yeah. I do a bit of gym work and stuff, but yeah,
mate. I can
keep
fucking
you
tell. I
keep you
can.
out of trouble.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Sweet.
yeah.
All right. No worries. Let me just. Do you drink or not?
I didn't for over the last few years. I used to be a massive drinker. I used to just drink a lot. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but over the last sort of few years, I've had like 12 months off, and then sort of drift in and off. I've kind of drifted a little bit back off it again after getting
Yeah.
on it towards the end of the year, and then just getting a bit loose again, and then just
Yeah.
reining it back in. So yeah, just I'm someone with everything it's to excess. I need to do things. So
Yeah. So
sometimes
am
I
I,
just
bro.
need to, yeah, so I need to do things like that. And then every so often it's just like, I just need to go cold turkey for a while. And then
Yeah.
I go back,
Well,
So,
mate, you're a better
but
man than me. I just can't. I did it. I did like a 5 month stint, man, and it was like it was fun. Like it was good. Like my brain cleared up and everything like
yeah,
that. Felt good. And then fucking Anzac Day hit, bro. And like
yeah,
Anzac Day for me is like one of the big ones for me. So
yeah,
it was during COVID, man. So I was like, yeah, I had all the boys on like a group chat, and I just fucking cracked the tin, and I was like, yeah, let's get back to it. But yeah, anyway.
yeah. No, I know what it's like. It's just,
Yeah.
I used to, yeah,
It,
a lot of
it,
the stories from back a while ago, there's a lot of drinking and other
yeah.
things involved. But yeah, no, these days, the last couple of years, I've been able to control myself. It's only taken nearly 50 years, but I got there.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, I think we're pretty good to go. Let me just. Well, I'm going to drink, so sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it. Go. I actually was going to go and get some today because I know you like the crack one. I
Yeah,
was going to go and get a beer
that's
and
cool,
then
man.
forgot. I even meant to bring because I've still got from back in the day. I've still got old touch ups and shit like that. I meant to bring some of them in and
Oh, bit of
stuff
show and
like
tell.
that. Yeah, a little bit of show and tell.
That's all
Yeah,
right, man.
so
That's all right.
yeah,
All right. I might actually I might rattle off a couple of things first.
yeah,
Uh, Shout outs to MTN Colors Australia. Massive supporter of the show. If you jump onto my link in my bio, you can get 15% off, and anything you buy on that page will support this podcast. I mean, thanks to everyone on the podcast that has bought stuff on there. It's helped me get some new fucking headphones because I've been running off fucking $20 Sony's, and these are so much better. So everything that comes into the podcast comes back to you guys and makes it a better listening experience for you guys. So thank you very much to everyone that supported it. And also, I keep forgetting to bring this up, but I did make a shirt. So I have 20 artists. Every person that gets on the show gets the. I don't know if you can see it; it's blocking my view. But yeah, I've got
nice.
the logo in the middle, and then all the tags of everyone that I've had on the podcast, and we'll be bringing those out every 20 or so episodes. So mate, you'll be on the shirt, so that's good.
Nice one.
So yeah, jump onto Big Cartel. There's a link in my bio as well. Anything that goes on there supports the show. So thank you, and also the legends at Clear Cut. There we go. There's a shirt there. I love tag shirts. They sent me some stuff. Great gear. I mean, yeah, great prints. It's on AS Color shirts. The hat, I've heard. I don't wear 5 panel hats, but I've heard that these hats are pretty much on the same par as Nike hats. So fucking that says something. So mad hats, mad fucking apparel. They're here for the culture. They support skating, graph, all the good stuff. So thanks a lot to them. Go jump on their page, Instagram, Clear Cut, all the rest of it. It's all good. Thank you very much. If there's anyone else who wants to send me some free shit, I'll fucking plug it for free. So don't worry about it. It's all good. So anyway, let me just that's out of the way. Let me just get this little thing here. Oh, there we go. Cheers, brother. I know you haven't got a beer. You're not drinking at the moment.
Cheers.
So
Yeah, here's the
that's cool,
imaginary
man.
beer. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I better sip it. That's bad luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Today, people, I have had a lot of Westline riders on. You might have noticed. But today we have a mainliner. Like, finally, I have a fucking mainliner on. Have a go at him. We have today Dame ML. Also, you were part of some other crews too, I think.
Oh, I've been a part of a lot of crews over
come
the
on,
years.
flop them out. Let's go.
Yeah, so starting off was a crew B&E, then ADC, TFB, TPC, UT, ML, RBS.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah,
yeah, I think that's enough, mate. Yeah. Stop! You're gonna go through the whole alphabet. No, that's cool, man. Fuck, man. Oh, it must show something about you, man. Like you must have been pretty good back in the day to get into all these crews. So,
no, I always say I was a bit player in the scene. I was never one of the big time guys or whatever, but I knew everyone. You know, I hang around. I was friends with a lot of people. So a lot of it was more so through friendship and
social
things
butterfly,
like that.
you'd
So,
say.
Yeah. I used to get up to a lot of stuff too, but yeah, nothing. Like a lot of the other guys I used to hang out with, but just knew a lot of people in the scene and stuff like that. So yeah,
nice. Well, welcome to the podcast, mate. So
thanks for having me.
I'm super appreciative of you coming on, man. So finally got a mainliner. So let's go. Let's jump into your life, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, man. Let's just start off with where you grew up and how Little Dame came about.
Well, I grew up in Ryde. So I never grew up near the train lines or anything like that. So yeah, I grew up in Ryde, and yeah, had a good upbringing, great parents, all that sort of stuff. A stable home, which a lot of people that I mixed with didn't come from, and a lot of people in the scene didn't have that to fall back on. So I was pretty lucky in that respect. But so that also kept me pretty grounded too. So it like if it wasn't for that, I would have strayed a lot more than what I did. So but yeah, no, grew up in Ryde, and so that's where I started.
Mate, what happened?
Your parents used to always say, "Don't mix with the wrong crowd."
Yeah, man.
I mixed with the wrong crowd.
Oh man, I come from the same kind of background as you, man. Great parents, all the rest of it, and then you start hanging around. A couple of mateys that you shouldn't be hanging around. They always tell you don't hang around them, and that's the worst thing you can tell a child. Don't hang around them.
It started off from being told don't hang around, and then eventually I became the one that people were saying don't hang around him. So, I guess just because I was into art, like as a kid, I was always into drawing, and it kind of just, eventually sort of, went into graffiti. And once you get into graffiti, then you mix in with
shut the gates, brother.
Just a whole different, group of people, and
okay. Well, we'll get into the graph stuff, but let's go into, your childhood memories from like around that area. Ryde was like a kind of mediocre, kind of like mid-range. It wasn't there was some commission housing and stuff around there, but you grew up in like a nice kind of household kind of thing. How was your childhood anyway?
Yeah, no. Childhood was great, like really good. And I grew up. My street was in housing commission. It was just working class, but all the other streets in the block that we were. They were sort of housing commission / some were housing commission, some were military housing. So there was a lot of defence people that were coming and going. So there was always different kids in the neighbourhood and stuff like that. So, it was a good mix. There was the local high school that was near me that I was friends with a lot of people from, but I went to school in actual Gladesville. So that was further on. So again, I ended up having a lot of different mates there because I was kind of lived near, the local high school, but went to a different one. So ended up having a lot of different mates to knock around with, and
So what about get into like BMXing and skating and shit like that, or were you more into some like I don't know the arty side, or what do you reckon? What was your thought?
Skating. Well, yes, heavily into skating.
Massively. Oh, true. Okay. Fucking another one. We've got another fucking skater, people.
Really solidly into it. And it's funny, so much of that linked in with the graffiti stuff.
I know. I found that out recently, bro.
Well, yeah, and see, I used to hang out in the city and stuff where we used to skate, and it was there. You had like a lot of crews as well. Whilst they didn't have names, there was a lot of crews. There was a lot of you were battling against like security guards for spots. They'd be coming in. There was always, very much like graffiti. You're fighting authority. You're trying to do your thing. There was just, it was just the crews. It's just, looking back at it now, it's like there's a lot
it's
of
the
links
fucking
between
same
skaters.
thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
You're trying to get into a yard, or
many,
you're trying to get into like
yeah,
a school to do some grinds on a fucking
yeah,
brick wall or some shit.
exactly. Where I laugh now, like the schools are all locked up and stuff. We used to hang
Oh
out in
yeah, you
schools and
can't
be
do that
skating
anymore.
and that. Nah, you can't get into school. Well, they used to be a great place to skate. And then, like I say, hanging out in the city and stuff. There was the pit in at Martin Place, which was the big. It was almost like the riders' bench or town hall steps or whatever for ride. That's where everyone used to sort of meet up and hang out. It was a common meeting place. But then everyone would go off in their crews and skate different spots. And then you always get into punch ups with security guards and different people and just stuff like that. It was funny a link there to how it sort of was very much like graffiti and that scene as well.
Yeah. Did you I mean, I've got like family members that had like the old fucking VHS tape video recorders. I don't know. That was like a thing in the 90s. Did you have one of those? Have you got some old videos of yourself fucking skating and shit?
Nah, not skating. Nah, I was the mediocre, barely keeping up sort of thing. It was none of the shit I was doing. I really wanted to film and things like. But I had a few mates that were pretty good skaters. But it was I could skate all right, but nothing worth cracking out the old video recorder for.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you could do a kickflip and that's about it.
Yeah, I could do it. I could do kick flips and heel flips and a few things. And do up to maybe 5 or 6 stairs. Beyond that, it was like nah.
Oh fuck, man, that's enough for me, mate. 5 stairs, Jesus Christ.
It was like, but it was. Yeah, it was good times. But grew up from a young age doing that. So from early in the 80s all the way through into the 90s and stuff. And and then also played baseball a lot during my teen years as well. Yeah, it was right into baseball, like heavily into that. But there is actually a very bizarre link to graffiti through the baseball.
Oh, sorry. I've had someone else on that did baseball too, and he's a writer as well. Like it's like what's going on there?
And back then it was a little bit underground. Like to try and watch stuff in America, it was there may be one game a week on at 2:00 in the morning. You'd have to record it on VHS. It's not like now where you can watch whatever you want. But no, that was a massive part of my my younger years and into my early teens. But it was at one stage in, I don't know how old I would have been, maybe 16, 17 or so. There was a guy I used to play baseball with. He's a weird unit. His name was Budgie. Anyway, he was a weird cat. But anyway, he goes to me, you in the graffiti and stuff like that. And I'm like, and he goes, oh yeah, I still curse to this day. I never found out what he wrote or anything.
Oh no.
No, I never did. So I don't exactly know who he was, but he goes, he goes, I've got some pen pals that overseas that he goes, I'll bring you some stuff in. And I'm like, sweet. So anyway, he brought me in a heap of these photos from Europe, and this is, back in the early 90s or, 90, 91, I can't remember. But anyway,
wow.
some stuff in, and I'm like, oh yeah. And at this stage, I didn't really know who this dude was, but it ended up being his pen pal was Bates.
What?
And I've still got some photos, and to know that they weren't just ones that were taken, Bates has actually done there's tags and stuff on the back of them, and that it was like, so they were legit ones. It wasn't just like someone's been to Europe and taken them, and there's Biro Bates tags and that on the back of them, and it was so bizarre. Yeah.
So you didn't find out who that was?
No, I still curse now that I never found out, who he was or what he wrote.
So if anyone's listening to this and you hear that you played baseball back in the day, hit us up in the comments and maybe we can get those fucking sketches and tags or whatever. But and let us know who you are. Like that's fucking wild, man.
Now I don't know who he was, but wow.
So
anyway, you had a pretty solid pen pal there. So yeah, no, I've still got heaps of photos and mags and stuff. But yeah, in there I've still got those and the tags on the back. So yeah, funny
wow.
little link to baseball.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Know.
So what about your schooling years? Did you rise up to the year 12 kind of ranks, or did you cut out after year 10 or something?
No, I got kicked out in year 11.
Oh, true.
So I went to a Catholic school. So
Yeah.
basically, look, if I was at school these days, I'd be diagnosed with this, that, or the other, or
What everyone says nowadays.
Yeah, back then I was just told, you're just a shit, you're a class clown,
You're a boy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
It was whatever. So
Yeah.
and then I think it was in year 10, I was in and out and all that. So I dropped out to go and do a TAFE course in mechanics and stuff. I didn't want to be at school. It wasn't my thing. I'm more a hands-on sort of guy. And
same.
yeah, so anyway, then it got to the point that fell through. So I went back to school, and then they just said,
you went back.
I went back after that.
True.
That fell through because not enough people signed up for the course, so they shut it down. And then so I had to go back to school, and then they just said, look, you can't re-enroll. You just, you're done. Because apparently with Catholic schools, they can, they can boot you at any, or I don't know. They can just, they can not accept an enrollment or something.
Yeah,
for
of
the
course.
Next year.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
I don't think you can in public schools. I think if you
have
enroll,
to take it. Sure.
Unless you get expelled for something really bad. I wasn't getting expelled for nothing really bad. They were just you're just a fucking dud. Get out. So So Anyway, so I finished up then and. That was about it. Drifted in and out of a couple of different, pre-apprenticeships and stuff, and went to TAFE for some other things. But it ended up just becoming like school again. You go to TAFE, you start off,
I hated TAFE.
It was all good, you're concentrating, you buckled down. Next thing you start making friends, and then we're in the cemetery across the road punching cones at lunchtime and just fucking doing that. So it was it all went downhill pretty quickly from there. And I think I barely scraped through on the attendance to the minimum requirement you had to be able to finish that course. So I think I only just made it by about 10 hours or something.
I know what you mean. I went through pretty much the same thing. My parents wanted me to go to year 12, and I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to do a trade, but they're like, stay in there. And I just fucked off for like the whole 2 years, and I was like, this is pointless. And I'm still doing the same trade that I did from after year 12, you know what I mean? So I'm like, proved you wrong.
I wish I had done a trade, but again, I kept drifting in and out of it. And it was about that stage where, graffiti started to take over, and then, it became a priority. And I was also was working as an apprentice chef, and ended up throwing that in because I just wanted to paint trains and stuff like that. I didn't want to be
you've done
around.
a lot.
So So I drifted in and out of a few different things there. Then another thing I was going to get into was sign writing and what was the course called? It was ticket writing and sign writing or something. Back in the day where this is early 90s where shops and that, you'd have ticket writers that would do tickets, and things for stuff on sale or,
kind of like JB Hi-Fi, how they have those signs and stuff.
Exactly, all that sort of stuff. There was, so I think it's very much a dead art now, although JB, I think,
JB's still cranking them.
Yeah, but that used to be a really big thing. Like all the shops would have it for their specials and that. Now it's all just computers spitting that shit out.
Car shops have it as well. All the signs there.
All that sort of stuff. So went in and started doing a bit of that as well, and then I just never saw anything through. It was just like I say, these days like you got ADHD or you got this or you got that. Back there was just I just couldn't concentrate on stuff and
fair enough, man. But so during those times, like in between, I mean, when you kind of leave school and do a trade, go to TAFE, I mean, there's people, your mates still going to school, you're outside of school, like people in school look at you like, oh, he's left, you know what I mean? They start getting like, oh, he's the crazy one, That's even like house parties and stuff. You're like, I'd say you'd be the cool one, to be honest.
Oh,
Like you've
a little
left, you
bit.
know what I mean?
Yeah. You broke out. You got away. You
Yeah,
got
you're
away for it
free.
all. Yeah, look, man, there was other guys like by that stage. I was mixing with enough degenerates that
Yeah,
there was a lot more that had probably left a lot sooner than me, and
yeah,
had probably been legitimately kicked out of school or whatever. So
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
look, there was a bit of it. You just at that age, you're mixing with some people are still at school, some are working. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
quite a mix
run
of
me through.
people.
I mean, what the house parties a thing back in your day? I mean, I always talk about this. Cunts will probably get the shits at me, but I used to love fucking house parties, man. It was like so exciting getting there, getting the piss on the weekends and all the rest of it. But
Yeah,
was that a thing too for you guys, or were you more of a
yeah.
park thing, or were you more of like someone's house, like parents are going away, and then you get like fuck yeah, free reign.
It was a mix of both. It was a lot of park stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just
Oh,
yeah, just hanging out in parks, punching bongs, drinking, just all that sort of stuff. Back when really started mixing with graffiti crews and that, then definitely was hitting a lot more, wilder house parties and
so
you know,
did you make graffiti writers at the house parties or more of the skate thing,
no, look, no, it was funny how
or the
I
baseball thing?
No, nothing yet. No, that baseball. No, that one
That
little
was
link
later.
is the only thing with baseball. Aside from later down the track, using baseball bats on people was, going back to that batting practice and stuff. But no, there was yeah, no, nothing through there. That it was how I sort of got. I still distinctly remember to the day how I got into graffiti, and that was back. I was in primary school, so it would have been, oh, it might have been 86 or 87 or something. And
Holy fuck!
a,
That
a
oh,
yeah, a mate brought his brother's copy of Subway art. And at that
oh.
stage, I was very much into like drawing cartoons and things like that. I loved I just loved drawing. It was my kind of a thing. And then and I still remember today what hooked me in. I just thought was mad, and it's that scene panel that's kind of like a throw up with the eyes in it, the
Oh
bloodshot
yes,
eyes.
it's got like the
Like,
veins in it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I was
yeah,
just like, oh, this is mad. Like that, I remember that distinctly, stuck out,
yeah, yeah.
and then just all the other stuff in there. I was like, this is wild. And but yeah, so that was like
Hooked.
then, and yeah. But so there was, you know, that was like what was it? Probably let's say 87ish or something. I think I was in high school
When I was
by
born.
80,
Yeah.
yeah 88. I was into high school, but yeah. So that kind of got me hooked. But I fucked around. I used to draw a bit at home and stuff like that, but never actually got out there piecing. I think I tagged the garage up a bit and
Oh,
stuff like that.
naughty man.
But
Naughty, not
yeah,
naughty
just
boy, actually. Yeah, yeah,
shit like that.
yeah. Fair
Just
enough.
with dad's paint or whatever that was in the garage. But then I it wasn't until year seven I remember I then started mucking around a bit with some pieces and things like that.
So what's that?
Um,
That's year seven is like 13 to 12,
yeah,
12, 12?
it'd be about I think it's about
Yeah.
12, 13.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah, started mucking around. Like I had guys at school. Now the school I went to, there seemed to be, and I don't know whether this was there seemed to be a bit of graffiti in that about the school. Like there was,
Yeah, same as
um,
mine. Yeah.
yeah, there was back in those days. You used to be able to get these backpacks. They were like you get them from like disposal stores. They were like a little I don't know. They're kind of like
Like an
a
army
Hessian,
backpack or something,
yeah,
or
like a little army though, and they just have these little like strap little things that you hooked in. But they
disposable
had this,
store at Build on Build Road.
just all that. Anyway, a lot of people seem to have them as backpacks back then, but they had
Mm.
like a flap that came over the top that sort of held it down. People used to do pieces across them, like with Poscas and that. Like,
Ah,
if you can imagine, like people that you do the jackets and they do like the full back. This
yeah,
was like one,
the jean
yeah,
jacket things. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that you used to really catch my eye then at school too. It was like, oh, these are fucking mad. Like, So again, there was all these little things that were igniting, along the way. And then I had some mates back in, the year seven, year eight that used to go and, I remember one guy used to go and pinch cans out of his dad's garage and the neighbour's garage. He used to bring them to school to me.
Oh,
For me. And then
give me one. Give me one.
And then like down the end of our street, there was like a reserve, like with bushland and all that sort of stuff. But there was a couple of old like little damn walls and that in there that I just muck around with and just doing shit on. But that was sort of in the very early 90s, probably late 80s maybe. And then, but it wasn't then till I got like a little bit older, like a little bit later into high school, that I then started getting a bit more into it. Again, through skating, being around, just hanging out in the city, just seeing a lot more stuff. I even remember like my dad used to go back in those days, to get magazines and stuff, you had to go. There was like Disco City and that in this like shop in the back of sort of George Street, and that they used to sell graph mags, and it used to be kind of like what Central Station Records ended
Disco
up
City.
Into. Yeah, Disco City was what it's called.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, you get like vapors and all these like. I remember my old man he'd been in there, drove into the city to buy the mags for me to come back and pick me up from detention after school.
What a mad cut.
I was like, that's pretty good. Instead of getting in trouble and that, he was going all the way in the city and doing that. So
that's good, man. If you're passionate about something your dad supports, I mean, that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
I don't know whether they supported or they just didn't really have much of a clue about it. They're just fucking naive to it all.
Oh, you want to read? Here's a graffiti magazine.
Yeah. He's reading. That's good. So there was all these little things that were sort of igniting, but it wasn't until probably a bit later into high school when there's another guy. I remember his name, but I can't remember what he wrote. But he was anyway. He goes, "Oh, I know this dude. He'd be keen to hook up and paint." And like, it's so random when you think of it back then. Someone just saying that, you're like, yeah, I'll go and meet this bloke at a fucking railway station and go and paint something. Like,
could be a pedo, but whatever.
Yeah. Or just a dodgy as. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so I ended up, meeting this guy, and we went and painted the lines, and he wrote Burls was his tag, and
true, okay,
yes. So I ended up hooking up with him, and then we started hanging out a bit, and then painting, and then he's like, he lived on the North Shore, and he's like, we'll go and we'll go, and I think where we met up was out at like Eastwood or West Ryde or something, where we went and we're painting the lines out there, and we did some stuff. But then after that, we then started going and painting Waverton. So he's like, let's come down, we'll go down. So he started schooling me in a little bit on that, and then that was the first time I was
gonna say how. I mean, so was he the first guy that like kind of helped you out with it, or
well, it probably wasn't. It probably didn't help me. Like we were probably on the same level. Like it wasn't.
Okay, so
like,
this is a bit after you've chosen your tag. Then so we'll go into that a bit later. But I just wanted to get into like more of like how you got into graffiti. So you've explained that, and then how, I mean, your first tag. I mean, you said you got some paint out of the garage, and then you were obviously doing some fucking little shenanigans in the streets or whatever. How did you come up with the tag Dame?
Well, I've been through a few things before it. Like I've done. I think that the first thing I ever did was just a big N for Nike. And it was nice. And that was the thing probably back in the late 80s or whatever. I distinctly remember that. I also was mucking around with the tag Prime.
That's a tough tag to take, brother.
It was like, there's probably a million primes out there. And then to get even worse, I don't know if I ever did any actual prime pieces. I don't know. I just used to sort of tag and muck around with that. Yeah. But then I took this really unique tag that no one's ever had, which was Joker. No one's ever used that before.
I've seen a couple of Jokers.
That I distinctly, I think that was the first piece I ever did with yeah, that was down at the end of the
So that
street.
wasn't you that did that piece that I saw online.
No, that wasn't that famous joke that's everywhere. Or it was like,
fair enough.
Anyway, so I remember doing a piece of Joe, and that was the first time I ever did a piece with
where was
an
that?
outliner. That was again down the bottom of my street. So the other side of this, these bush area and that, there was like soccer fields, and there was a big long wall all the way along the soccer field, like Besser block. It was about head high. And it was
covered in bushes, so you can't get seen.
No, it was all completely open and on the back of houses, and mate, it was like right on the soccer field. No. But so I remember slipping down there at night, and had two Franklin's cans, and a chrome fill with a blue outline, and
chrome fill blue outline. Fantastic.
And I can't explain the shitness of those tins for trying to outline. But back then, you had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. But you used to have the Franklin's tins used to have these really shit blue nozzle on them.
Oh, yes.
Tall and skinny, and it had this flap at the top, and there was a pin in there. And if you ever accidentally push the pin to the thing was fucked then. You couldn't use it. It was just they were just shit. But
everyone's talking about those fucking nibs. They
were absolute garbage. But when you didn't know any better. But I remember doing a joke about it. And I think that was the first time I ever actually did a piece with an outline of that properly and stuff. So
and then how'd you end up choosing your actual tag that you started running with?
Okay, so then I'm like, God, these tags are all shit. And then obviously just realised Joker was
seats taken, mate. Seats taken.
Pretty sure, So then I remember seeing it was a puzzle panel, and he had something about, I don't know, he had, we used to write these like little blurbs and things, like usually over the top of the doors or something, and it had something, and the word damage was in there. Ooh. And I just went, and just the flow and the way it was, I went, I went, fuck, damage is what it is. That's it. Oh, I'm loving that. Yeah. And then it was just way too long. It was just like, damage was just too can't
cause too much damage with that long word.
I can't be doing that. So then it just sort of got shortened down to Dame, and then but I've mixed with a lot of other. I get bored really easy, and then I get stagnant on things. So the other thing I used to write a lot was bigs. I used to do a lot of big stuff.
I've seen your pieces. I think you did a couple of panels of that, didn't you? Or
I did a few. I did panels overseas in Europe.
Whoa, hang on, calm down, mate. Just don't big note yourself right now.
that was later down the track. So that I used to do that a lot. I also even did another thing I mucked around with before was a tag oils. I just like the way that flowed, and I did a panel. I did an oils panel down in Lavender the Bay, and I've got it's funny, I've got photos of this panel, and it's just, if you know Lavender Bay, you're tucked in the eye like you get into that, so it's a really close up sort of shitty panel. But that thing fucking ran for ages. They bust the windows and ran for ages. Yes, I've got photos of it like at night time, like full lights on inside, just the windows buffed out of it, and all the people sitting in it and stuff.
Shit.
So it was mucking around with that as another tag, but then found out there was an oils in I think it was Adelaide or South Australia, or someone was writing that down there. So that was a one and done panel there. But then just basically Dame and Biggs were the two things. I fucked around with other things, like I do stuff like I've done a few Matter pieces. which was just Damer with the letters rearranged. So just used to just put them into a different formation and
I think it's a good thing to mix up your letters sometimes. I've found
sometimes just putting them in a different order makes all the difference. You just get sick of stacking things next to each other and stuff. So just started mixing them around and putting them in different order. And then Doctor Doom. It's actually funny where Biggs came from, because this is, back in the TPC days with Siphon and all that. We used to
shout out to Siphon.
We used to muck around, and we have all these the same as he was doing Mac 10, and I was doing Willie Biggs, and we just obviously shortened down to Biggs, which were like, Willie Biggs was a character from Ultramagnetic MC, Cool Keith, and all this sort of stuff. Okay. So we used to just muck around and just be doing weird shit and that. But then, then Biggs ended up sort of sticking, and for a while there, we were both doing some Mac 10 pieces, but I think I only done a couple of them. Then Siphon was then smashing them out, and he went on with it a lot more.
So I might have seen a couple of your Mac 10 pieces then, I reckon.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, there was I did probably about 3 or 4. Maybe, but But
fair enough.
Yeah, just used to like to play around with just different stuff, and just keep it interesting. Like, I just used to get bored really easy, and
it happens, man. It happens. I mean, some people get bored of their own tag and then they just completely stop. So it's good that you try and mix it up. Keep the flavour going. You know what I mean?
Mix it up. Also, then again, we can get into a lot. Later on, like I got fucking busted. I got dragged through so much shit. So. I also had to get away from Dame as well. So
okay. Well, let's run into that then. You've brought it up, so let's go. So, we can cut some shit out if it's too much, but keep going.
No. It's actually it's a funny story, and led to a lot of grief in my life. But we're painting down at Woolaware. It was me, News, a guy that wrote Mesh, and Whiskey. So we went down there. I think the News touched on this chase story too, but it's funny. I'll give you the other side of it. It was the one where he took off and slept on the beach and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, long story.
Everyone's memory's a bit different, so we're old now.
Well, I'll tell you, in his story, he just had us 3 peeling off one way. I can tell you what happened on that peel off.
Sweet.
So anyway, we're down there in there, painting and sketching up, and we got it all sort of sketched up. And I don't think we're hell of a lot, much further beyond sketching up and starting to get it all ready to start filling in. So not a huge way through, but enough. We fucked up 3 carriages. So then next thing, we've seen these people, and it was like, and we thought, because we bumped into Stono and that earlier on, and at first we thought they were riders, and then next thing it was just like, fuck. It's like, fuck no, and it was just bang, flash, and then that's it. We just hit the legs, and we've run, but we've ran down along the carriages, and News has actually peeled around and gone then back up the other side of the carriages. Mesh, Whiskey, and I have gone straight along, and then so we're down that way. So they've naturally just followed the majority.
Yeah, they usually do.
Yeah.
Easy
so
pickings.
Follow that. So News was sweet. He went the other way, and it was only 2 coppers. It was one old fucker and a young guy. Anyway, so the young guy was the only one given any form of chase. But
fucking Terminator just running through.
And if you know Woolaware, you're kind of in a bit of a valley, like most yards and that. There's embankments going up. So anyway. It's dark, it's fucking running down, and then it's like, we've got to get up into the units. This copper's still like not far, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, we've got to peel up and get up into these units. Anyway, it had rained like a little bit beforehand, like a few days or whatever. Anyway, started heading up this embankment, but because it had rained and it was all dirt, it then just started giving way, and then I'm pulling, and chunks of dirt are coming out, and I'm like,
fucking mudslide.
Fuck, and like I'm just like digging like some form of bobcat trying to get, and as you start to get into a panic, you're just going, and it was just going a million miles an hour. It just seemed to be everything I was grabbing was just these chunks would just fall away. And then next thing these guys just jumped up and just grabbed me by the legs and then dragged me down. I'm like, fuck. And then, but then to add insult to the situation, I get handcuffed. 5 meters further on was where they put one of those ladders that go up for the like those, so you could get, because the embankments are quite steep. They put these like sort of ladders or staircases just in there, and I'm like, if I made it another fucking 5 meters, I hit that, I'm up there, I'm through, and I'm gone. I'm out of there, and I'm like, yeah. So I ended up getting snapped pretty hard then. So yeah. Anyway, so I also remember they handcuffed me. And of course, it's, you know, they chase on through. They've whacked the handcuffs on so tight, I was starting to lose circulation in my hand. And then the fucking dumb fucks didn't have the keys on them. So then they had to radio the station to then eventually get someone to come down whilst they've taken off. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there, my hands start.
You're going to lose your hand.
Yeah, my hand's going to fucking fall off here if you pricks don't come back and sort me out. I'm like, I'm left there, you're running off, I'm fucking hands about to fall. I would have got away then if my hand fell off, but, you know, I would have been known as fucking Stumpy or something. But anyway, so that was, so that I got snapped pretty hard for. And then I remember was then shitting myself after that. I'm like, right, I'm going to get, because I got taken back to the station and everything, and they're like, oh, you know, give up your mates. I'm like, no, what mates? What mates? No, that was me. They're like, no, bullshit. There was the other three guys. No, it was just me. And they're like, are you saying you did everything? You're going to cop all these? I said, yeah, but that was me. I did. You were doing 3K. Yeah, man. Did a lot of just anyway. So I took the charges for everyone, because you're not going to give anyone up. And it was like, yeah, well, fucking whatever. What do I care? Just
what are they going
to one charge?
How much is the charge going to be? Like, it's like paying a train. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. It's
like no. I said, no, you guys have got it wrong. It was just me down there by myself. I was just mucking around and
community service, mate. Fuck
yeah. Actually, I did get community service. That was shit. But anyway, so that happened, and then I got rid of all my stuff because I was a big collector of photos and
paranoia kicks in.
Fucking, cleared everything out, and then I had to go to court for that down there. I can't remember. It was dragged though. After this, I was dragged through court for nearly 2 years. But I remember there was some shit that went on there, and I remember going, they haven't come to the house. I'm going to be sweet because I'm oh no, that's right. Sorry, no, this was beforehand. I had to go in for sentencing down there. That's right. I went down and I was in court down there, and when they took me, they took a backpack and they took some other shit off me, and they never put it in as evidence. And I remember, I'm getting confused here. No, this is after that. Sorry, I've jumped the gun.
It's a long time ago, man.
It's a long time ago. Yeah. A lot of shit's gone on. No, sorry, because I'm just thinking now. No, this can't happen. That's right. So there was a period there, so I got rid of everything and thought I was all sweet. There'd been a bit of time. Had one court case over it. Anyway, then I remember there one night, early one morning, 6 a.m. I'd been out on the piss the night before. Anyway, I'm laying in bed and
thinking you're sweet.
Yeah. This is like, it's a while after. It's enough afterwards that I'm like, nah, I'm in the clear now. That ain't fuck who I am.
Okay, I think I know where this is going. Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang on the front door. And I remember that woke me up. I was like, oh yeah. And then my mum's answered the door thinking it was my nieces and nephews. And next thing, it's fucking GTF. But what made it worse was they had fucking 8 cop cars, the whole street. I had cops all in the backyard. Like, I'm like, mate, I got done doing a couple of panels. I wasn't doing armed robs or something like what you think of that run out, the back. It was just really exciting. Anyway, I remember as soon as I heard, saying is so and so here, and we've got a search warrant and that. I remember just like it was like a shot of adrenaline. I'm laying in bed, just like fucking ping. And then next thing, I just feel my bed getting kicked, and they're like, "Fucking get up." And I'm like, oh fuck, right. Anyway, so
all for
at this,
graffiti. Fuck
yeah,
hell.
yeah, yeah. So at this stage, I'd cleared most of it because my bedroom used to just be because before that we used to fucking rack heaps of paint.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's just heaps. Used Pursuit and I used to go out every day racking paint and stuff. And my room was just full of paint. Anyway, that was all got. Everything was cleared up. It was all sweet there. But my nan used to live out. She had we had a granny flat out the back, and she had died. She wasn't there, so I stashed all the stuff out in the back granny
Oh,
flat. Anyway, they went through everything, and they were going. So then they eventually went through and looked out there, and they went, oh, they saw some turntables and stuff out
oh
there.
no.
And then they started, then they found all this shit and just like heaps of it. So then there was just all this stuff that I'd had. This granny flat full of stuff all got taken. So that all got done. I racked up a hell of a lot of charges over that.
Did you get any of those, like all those photos and shit back, or did you just let it go?
Well, yeah, that's another part of the story.
Oh, sorry.
I'll
Continue.
get to.
Sorry.
You
Sorry.
jumping the gun here. You
I know,
jumping the
man.
gun.
Sorry. I know. Okay, go. Sorry.
So what ended up happening was I then had to go. This is when I was back out for sentencing. So I had to go out there. And anyway, long story short, whatever. Yeah, fucking some community service. Yeah, bullshit, whatever. And I remember then I'm like, then I was like, but I need to get my stuff back. Meaning, when I got busted, my backpack and shit that they never like. It was just a backpack and that. No one really, but it was just like I'm like, no, fuck you. That was a fucking expensive backpack. I want it back. It was good.
Oh, my
Fitted a lot
jacket.
of paint.
Oh,
It
my
was
fucking socks. I want everything.
it was fucking mate. Give it back. Yeah. Oh, just to wind back on the
too.
story. Yeah. But just to wind back to when I got arrested and when they had me back at the station the first time, and they were sitting there, and I had to wait for people to come and pick me up. They gave me fucking subway art and spray can art as books to read whilst I was waiting there.
What?
They'd obviously taken on people.
What the fuck?
I was like, you
Okay.
fucking idiots.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay.
so so I'm at sentencing court. Then something happened. Then I left, and then I went back and I said, "Oh, the judge had said you got to give my stuff back," and they're like, "No. We've got nothing of yours. All your stuff's like you've still got pending charges over." And I went, I don't know. And then anyway, I had to go back in the sentencing court again. Now, mind you, I'm in there with people, like I'm in there for fucking graffiti. There's people in there that are getting sentenced for armed robs that are going away to jail time.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking a pimple on a rhino's ass in there. So anyway, so they end up, the judge like cracked the shits and literally just wrote, give me my fucking stuff back or whatever. So anyway, I've gone back to they didn't care. So he just wanted me out of it. I was just being, it was just pestering. So anyway, I went back and went to the cop shop, gave it to them. They go, oh, okay. And then they go, okay, just pull around down, come around to the car park underneath. So I'm like, okay, sweet. So I went around there and I was with my old man. We pulled up in the car and they pulled this big roller door open, which is it was full of all fucking hydroponic setups and all sorts of shit in there, stolen, all this sort of stuff. All my shit was there, all these box loads of stuff, paint, everything was there.
Did you take some hydro or what?
The copy here, that's fucking some lights and stuff, good setups there. Anyway, they go, he goes, oh, aren't you still going to? I went, oh, look, nah, they've sorted all this shit out, and I was just fucking blow ass. And I remember saying to my dad as we pulled out, I said, you shut the fuck up, don't say anything. Don't say a fucking word. Anyway, he goes, oh, okay, whatever. Glad to have this shit out of here. And I went, yeah. So loaded it all up and took off, and I'm like, oh, these dumb fucks. Like I had all these charges racked up that I had done. They've just given all the evidence back. So I was like, sweet. Then Woolsey, this fucking the GTF guy, I remember they then summons me after this when they realised what had gone on. They summoned me to because I had another court appearance at a later date. They summoned me to bring all the stuff. They've gone, you got to fucking bring all this stuff. And anyway, so I'm like, yeah, sweet, yeah, I'll do that, sure. Then we rocked up to my next court appearance, and it was like, I remember him. He saw me and he goes, we're sort of sitting in court, and he goes, oh, did you bring the stuff? And I'm like, I brought it. And I remember he was probably sitting there going, fuck, yeah.
I've got him.
And then when we went in there, it ended up being, I had about 5 photos of Sydenham legal wall. And I just went, you wouldn't believe it. The fucking weirdest thing happened. We just fucking lost it all. It got water damage that caught on fire.
My
and
dog ate my homework.
The dog ate like this. It was just like everything you could think of happened to it, and was like, so they ended up having to drop all these charges and shit. And I was like,
fuck yeah. So, I mean, what are they going to do, man? It's fucking graffiti. Like, fuck, give you community service on your way. Fuck.
Yeah, it was just shit. It's like,
don't do that again.
Like, I get it, but you're jamming a fair bit of resource into catching someone that, it wasn't like I was having or anything. It wasn't like, it wasn't like, I wasn't even.
You look like a bit of a terrorist now, but
but like, it wasn't even like I was someone they really wanted to get, or it was just like, fucking put your resources somewhere better.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, such a fucking waste of time and taxpayers' money.
Huge waste of taxpayers' money and stuff.
So I mean, run me through how you got into like doing panels anyway.
Well, so that guy Burles that was started writing, he ended up changing his tag to Arco. So that was Arco. Yeah,
one of my favorite writers. Yes,
that was me and him. So he was like my first partner, and we used to hang out and we used to go there. Even he was living at that stage there. I don't know, Gore Hill Freeway. I don't know.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah. So he lived kind of backing onto that. And I remember it, like, he goes, come over. Well, at this stage, I think he changed to, actually, I was looking at the pieces, funnily enough, today, the photos I had. He's like, come over. I've got these spots for you guys. It's on the back of the freeway. It's just somewhere a bit of fun to paint. It's like illegal, no one's going to see him or that. And sweet, we went down there. So I did a Dame, he did an Arco, and Arset was there, did an ADC piece. So three of us on there. But it was funny. This is like the original layer on Gore Hill Freeway. And anyway, long story short, mate, that place there would have to be a meter thick in paint. Like, I don't know if it still gets painted these days, but it just used to get hammered all the time. And
I remember.
But it was very funny doing pieces there when there's basically no tags in the background. There's no, it's just the
free reign.
The original, it was just the original like buffers paint they used to put on just almost to coat whatever the
free buff
fiber. So so anyway, so that was when he was doing, we used to, because he was sort of on the North Shore, he took me and we started doing Waverton. So I remember the first time we went in there. This is the first time I'd painted a train and went in there and did that. Actually got hit by a train in there.
Oh, what?
Because we were doing them in peak hour, so we were just rocking in there. And we ended up getting chased, and we ended up getting chased by a driver too. And then this driver jumped out, and anyway, we're running around. Then he jumps back in, and he's like, we're running between the trains, and we've run around the front. This driver's jumped back in, and it's like when they go in and take the handbrake off or something, you used to get sort of this big jolt forward of the train. I remember running around like on the front of the Tangara that's slow like that, and jolts forward and kind of threw me on the ground. Like, got up, and then remember just running past just all these people sitting there coming home from work, and then just hit the legs and ended up off and got away that time. But but it was after that I was like, I'm hooked. This is fun.
I want this adrenaline.
The adrenaline. I would have preferred it without the chases, but
they're part of it, mate. That's what's fun about it.
It is. It was riders cardio. So it was just part and parcel.
Yeah, take me through some successful missions.
Yeah, Lavender Bay was always good. I was just skinny enough to paint Lavender Bay.
Hang on, you were skinny?
No, I said I was just skinny enough because you had to at the end of where it used to basically butt up to
what was it, Luna
Park there. Yeah, it was like fence, and there was kind of like these pillars, and there was a bit of a gap, and you could kind of
Jimmy.
flick through, and you would be painting like you felt like you're in New York, because you'd be the wall of the would be behind you, the dirt wall or whatever.
Just
but
like
you literally
hang
had
off
like
and just
yeah, you were like, so it was shit for getting photos, because you get these little skinny ones, because you had no room to get a photo, but you would get a good runner, because you knew it's a one track in, one track out, and it would roll going out, and you could get the maddest shots of it rolling out there. You just had to make sure you were there for when they were pulling out, and it was also pretty obvious GTF and that knew where to go and look for people that were going to get it. But yeah, you could get good shots there. But the other hard part with that was there was apartment blocks behind, and we would often get people fucking yelling at us from the apartment blocks. And
what are you doing?
Like just like,
what does it look like I'm doing, you fuckwits?
Like, and it's one of those things. Like back in that, it's like, oh fuck, are you just yelling at us? Are you pissed off? Are you ringing the cops? Like you got to kind of Like these days, you would just assume, well, fuck yeah, the different these days. But back then, you didn't know. Exactly.
Take the gamble,
so
mate.
You'd kind of take the gamble depending on how far you were. If you were just sketching up, you might forget it. But if you were getting pretty close, you would
keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, so that was pretty good, and then also leading on to the panel thing was, so Arco and I started hanging around and that, and then he knew these guys out Campbelltown way, so that's where we started hanging out that way a bit with
ADC.
That ended up being that was ADC. So ADC.
Oh, I'm learning some shit here. Yes,
just formed. So that had just started up. So I remember going out there, and I think the first time we met them, we were out at Casula from memory, and I think Unity was painting this fucking massive wall out there.
Unity's sick.
Yeah. So we were out there, and that's where I met Nude and Kia and News and a bunch of the guys, and then we just started hanging out with them, and then they're like, yeah, we pump daytimes in at Campbelltown. So yeah, fucking right on, let's go. So that was the first time. What we used to do with the ADC thing, we used to go and do door-to-doors, but they were crew missions, so no one was going in doing individual panels. It was crew missions, so we'd go in there. So everyone would have a role, like, Arco would, sketch up, and, I'd go through, start feeling, someone's doing back. Like everyone, it was just, so we were knocking out door-to-doors in like 15 minutes or so, like, 20 minutes. It was quick. Look, again, seeing people these days and what they're doing, the fucking two-handed fills and all this sort of shit. Like, it's nothing compared to what.
Yeah, well, you didn't have that back then. So
but back then it was like, it was everyone. So someone, sketching, someone filling, someone doing, doodads, someone
teamwork
doing
makes the dream work, brother.
100%. That's what we used to do. We used to go through. So we used to smash them out there. So we'd go in. You just be able to slip in up the. It was like a railway crossing out there. You just come in and wrap it. We used to do them in the middle of the day, and
I heard you got parties in there, have a couple of cases of beer, fucking drive in there, sweet.
Go in there and then go across to the shops afterwards, hang out in Westfield or whatever it is, and wait for your film to get developed, and make sure you took good photos, and you didn't fuck the roll up or something, which used to happen a lot back then. You'd fuck a roll up, and you'd have no photos and shit. So started then knocking around with those guys, hanging out and doing a lot more panels. We also used to go into Waverton again, back with the boys. We'll go back there of a night time and do door-to-doors in there. So they were good times. They were always fun. It was the crew in there, they're doing it, and
Yeah, so getting into like the crew kind of thing. So was that your
Mm.
first kind of crew you went to, the ADC thing, or and then?
Yeah, previous to that, there've been this B&E crew.
Oh, okay.
Again, that the dude from school, but that was just very.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, there was OTB was another one. Yeah. OTB was another. These were all just like
When you're
sort of
young, kind of thing.
little fuck around things. But yeah, ADC was probably the first one.
Yeah.
Around that same time, I was mates with the dude that wrote Cheat.
Oh,
He
yes.
was so he and then so through them I got to know like a Muse. So I used to hang out with a lot of the guys on the North Shore as well. So a Muse and stuff like that. Also rewinding back a bit to the skating days,
Mm.
there was a guy I used to skate with there who he when I got into sorry again just to wind back a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, go for it.
Where I first started sort of getting into proper piecing was in Eastwood Canals. I used to get down
Oh,
to the canals in Eastwood there, and that was the first time I started sort of getting serious.
right.
With
Yeah.
trying to paint properly and
Yeah.
doing things and at that stage then there was another guy I used to skate with, and he wrote Hence.
Oh, yeah.
Who so still to this day, he's one of my best mates. We used to live
Oh,
together
okay.
for years. Like he's rock solid, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the funniest dude. He's the
Yeah.
funniest guy, mate. He's had me like in so many fights, like
I've
trying
heard.
to. But
I've
I
heard.
can go into that later on. But he's a very funny dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was a flowing from the skating days. Then there was a couple of other guys that kind of followed me a little bit from skating, started seeing, doing graffiti. Then they started getting interested, which was a guy that wrote Mesh and another guy that wrote Whiskey.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, both of those they in their own right started when they got into it started doing a lot of panels, especially Whiskey. Man, Whiskey was fucking
Yeah, I
pumping
remember
panels
that tag.
a,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot. Yeah. He was doing a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
so that was where I sort of in Eastwood Canals, and I can still distinctly remember. You could tell when fresh pieces were done. You could smell. You could, especially tuxins
Yeah.
and that, which was a lot of what was. You could smell, and you'd be coming in there going, "Oh, there's going to be new pieces there." But that was where I also met a guy that writes Puke.
Oh, true.
So Puke, he's an unbelievable,
Yes.
not just writer but an artist. Top bloke. But he's he taught me a lot. He taught me and hence a lot back then. So
Right.
and also another guy, Fuke and Smut were another guy. Like they were definitely
Oh,
going back before when you talked about people that were above. They were like way above, and
yeah.
taught me a lot of stuff. So
Okay. Yeah.
um,
So so hence he was TPC, wasn't he?
he was
TPC.
TPC, he was ML.
Yeah. So how
Yeah,
did that
he
all?
was ADC as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
right.
no,
Okay.
he was TFB. He's actually been pretty much most of the crews I was in. He was with, mate.
Yeah.
We've been thick as thieves, legitimately like
Yeah.
since like the skating days. So yeah, long time. So
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
he's a good bloke.
Yeah, so getting into like the ADC
Yep.
crew, I mean, Hens was probably hanging around with you too, and then you kind
Yeah,
of like
that
joined together, and then yeah.
and then so around that time was mixing with like Cheat and Amuse and all that. That's where we're writing TFV. We had that
Oh, okay.
crew sort of going there back in the early days. Amuse, he's another one. He's another person. Well, whilst I don't really write or do any of these are still people that I'm in contact with
Yeah, yeah.
and still mates with. But yeah, so him a lot of those guys, and then there was also this young guy that was writing Skew, who was like, mate, he was
Oh,
killing it, and so he was he was a. Funnily enough, we took him. The ADC boys took him for his first panel. It was his 16th birthday, and
I've heard about this story. Yeah, yeah. Go on,
we took
run
him,
me through this one, mate. One of the
we
biggest
took
train
him
painters in the world. Let's go.
exactly like it was like, and I've got the photo and everything of the first panel he ever done on a live train. I think he'd done a Deady or something, or one of those old dead heritage trains or something. But his first live panel, and mate, he fucking became a monster after, But anyway, it was, so I think it was his 16th birthday, and it was like, come on, we're going to take you out to Kennards. We're all just going to look out for. It was the whole crew was just there. It was like a birthday present for him. Like, get him in there, get him a panel. I remember even afterwards we got photos. He lived in near the city. He was finishing up, basically, or he was probably still painting when his own birthday party was starting back in the city. Now, if you know the transport system, getting from to
wherever.
I'm not going to say exactly where he was, but it's trains and then buses and possibly a ferry or something. It's like, mate, he would have been so late for his own birthday party, but anyway, he got his first runner in, and
who was on that first run, the first panel?
Just him.
Oh, just his one. So you just helped him out just to do that.
That's all it is. We all just subbed and looked out and did everything, mate.
There's the red carpet, brother.
Yeah, he had the pushiest run. He had about fucking 20 lookouts and stuff. And even afterwards, we took photos. We're like, fuck off, mate. Go to your party. You got to go to your party. So we got the photos for him. As you do, you go and get them developed and all that sort of stuff. And so no, he had there must have been 10 to 20 of us all looking out for
it. Look what you fucking created, you cunts.
He ended up becoming a bit of a prolific train rider, but so then was crews like that, and so around that stage, and then I don't know. I think the next thing was, I don't know whether it was TPC or ML.
ML was probably a bit later, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. It was a bit late. I can't remember all the timeline of it all. I can't even remember exactly how, because whatever it was when I first started, when I met Dykes and all them and Scythe and was hanging out and started painting with them. They'd only just formed it. It was sort of like it was only pretty fresh, TPC, and so then started hanging out with those guys a lot, and then
just smashing TPC, doing a few panels and that.
Then started doing that. Then started doing a lot of panels, and but it was all pretty close to the same time, because there's another funny story I'll get into in regards to discovering what probably became Sydney's probably most hit yard, or fucking close to it. Well, I don't know. Maybe not the most hit yard, but fuck, it had some shit roll out of this place. And anyway, but that was around the time, because for a while there, it was purely TPC ML, that yard. That's all it was. Was just it was on lockdown. No one knew about it. I'll get into that story then. So it was.
Are you going into the start of ML, or are you going to just?
Oh no, sorry, no. Oh no, okay. I'll go through that stuff then. I'll get to that yard story and that afterwards. Because that also then links into a fucking massive chase story. But anyway, fucking crazy one. Anyway, so I can't remember the exact time, but it was when I first sort of hooked up with because how I got in with ML was, again, I think it was through Whiskey. Who
started ML? Do you know? Or not really?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. I think it was always one of those loose terms like Mainline, but it
you're
kind
right
of
near the Mainline, so you're a Mainliner kind of thing,
and
then it turned into a crew kind of thing.
Rider, but it then kind of formed out of TRA and UCB.
Okay.
And just so I don't know. I don't know whether it was Clue, or I don't know exactly, because there's a couple of different generations of
I'm trying to figure out who started it and how it came about and all the rest of it. So it's hard. There's a lot of
the newer gen I don't know.
Because I've always thought that Clue, Muddles, you.
So originally it was Clue, Muddles, Hoot, me, Hence, Kai's,
Mike?
I think it was Rims, Mike.
Punt,
Chris,
punt
there
as
was
well.
there was a bunch of people that had their fucking names as their
Yeah.
It was also
Yeah.
it was a very
Yeah.
there was a mix
Just
of
mates.
people that were there was a mix of people that were into piecing and panels. There was people that were just into bombing. There was people that were just into crime.
Nicer was
there
in
was
there.
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
You're bringing back a lot
Yeah, I'm
of
going off
memories
stories
now.
I've heard.
Punt. There was quite a few, and then there was like we also had shrubs who had come up from Canberra, shrubs who ended up again then changing to disc. Disc. Yeah.
Oh, disc.
So,
Okay. DISK.
So there was like disc and arco and steel and all that. They were then sort of the next
new generation.
Not the new, but they were the next sort of part of it afterwards. And then obviously then there's other ones that have come on down the track, and like I say, there's different people that I don't know. It kind of becomes a little bit of a crew, like in the sense of sometimes with RBS, it ends up there's a lot of people from different factions, and
some people don't know each other, and it's are you part of my crew? And it's like, I don't know.
That's why I always felt a little bit weird with writing RBS, because I was one of those later generation that came on. I wasn't there in the early 90 when they were doing when Tav and all that was smashing stuff out. Like
same as RCF as well. There's a lot of people in RCF that the original writers don't know about, and they're like, who's this guy? So it's always like a bit, there's old school crews that everyone loves to they idolize them, and then the older writers kind of drop off a little bit, and then the younger ones kind of take over, and then it's trying to keep it fresh
almost. It's trying to keep it going. So you need the next gen to come along, and it's almost like the gangs in LA. You got to have the new people coming in to keep these things going on.
You got the Bloods and the Crips, and fucking none of those cunts know each other.
But it was I always felt a little bit. I can get into how I ended up writing with that later on, but I always felt a little bit. A little bit of imposter syndrome sort of thing, because I wasn't there with the original wave. And that. So I just, but all the other crews I've been in like sort of the first generation or things have just been formed, within the last couple of months or something. And, and then been a part of. So, so sort of how I got in with the ML guys was Whiskey, I think he knew Fear. So that's where then
what a writer.
Yeah. Mate, hands down, him and News are just the
best tags in. Things, man. I was just about to say the world, but
hands down. I'm shit at tags. Tags,
same.
I was shit, but the go used to always be is me and News would be out. It's like, mate, I'm doing the blockies, you're doing the tags.
Yeah, you do the tags.
So that's what it was. We used to hammer the city all the time. I'm just a big one, just blocking, like he's down there. I used to have him putting me up all the time, but Fear was just like
two different styles of tags too, which is like Fear has like if you look at it, like he probably did it really quick. I'm not saying that News didn't do it quick too, but like you can just see the difference. Like News is more that really public, and then Fear was more of like but it still looks perfect. You know what I mean?
He used to do a thing that he used to. He was another strange one as well. Fear. We used to pester him so much because we used to hang at his house. He used to fucking hate it. We'd eat all his food and shit, and he'd be like fucking blow. We were like the little like his little brothers or something. He'd be like fuck, and he used to get shit. But he used to do this thing he used to call calligraphy. Like it was a mix of like calligraphy. So he used to study a lot of the calligraphy type of stuff. And
that makes sense.
So he used to call it calligraphy and stuff. If you knew Fear, I'm not going to do his voice now, but people would know that, no, he's a funny character. But but he's unbelievable, hand styles and panels and pieces.
Yeah. So jumping back into your story, sorry, I had to interrupt.
So anyway, that was he. Then that was where then I ended up just meeting all Clue and Hoot and Muds and all the boys, and then we just used to fucking just get on it at Burwood every weekend.
I was gonna say the old Burwood fucking. I believe it's called the Avondale now. Now it's called the Avondale, but it used to call the Vegas Lounge or something like that or something.
Mate, we had some wild times there. Mate, just the loosest shit used to go on there. But yeah, so anyway, that was so we'd always be hanging out at either what was it? Laser Zone was
the arcade place.
The little Asian guy that used to run it. That
free arcade games.
We used to fucking cause him having, but he loved us because we were just we were always there and always looking out for him. But there also at the pub and then down the park too. It was funny. Every week we'd be drinking cases down in the park. And then, as you do, you just drink it. We're just hoofing the bottles into the pond or whatever there. We were doing that for fucking years and years. And it wasn't until one day I was actually down there during the day. It was like I'd never seen Burwood during the day. I'd never seen the park during the day. It was always nighttime.
Or sunrise.
And anyway, we're down there one time, and it's all families having picnics and all that. And I'm looking, I'm like, this park's actually pretty nice. And I'm like, fuck. Then it dawned on me, someone has to fish these, 50 bottles out of this pond every weekend. And I'm like, I was surprised cops didn't come down there and bust us more.
Mate, imagine if they had the 10-cent rule back then, mate. Some little old cunt would be picking it all out, making a shitload of money off you cunts.
But we used to have, we had
I was like going having beers there, a build there, and then maybe go and do a couple of fucking panels, maybe.
Yeah. There'd always be missions going after there, or people would be, after missions would be going back there if they were earlier. Or we'd just go up and do the lines and stuff like that. We'd just go up and just rip pieces up on the lines there when we're pissed and stuff like that. But I remember a few times down in the park that, kids had come like through, I'm just like, oh, fuck, you dumb fucks. Just go around the park. And it was like, the UTB boys.
It's like 20
a few times there, next thing they go over and they'll be chatting. Next thing they come back, they got sneakers and hats and all this sort of shit. I'm like, you dumb fucks, you should have just walked around the park and not trying to cut through it. But it was good times in Burwood back there.
So getting into the mainline stuff, man, like I've had a lot of Westline riders on, so they've told their kind of stories about the beef between. There was like it was a bit of a beef, but there was a war or battle, you could say, against Westline and Mainline. Can you brief me in a little bit of how that began, and your side of things? I mean, not everyone's correct because everyone's memory's a bit foggy because it's a long time ago.
Yeah,
but if you can tell me how that kind of started from your kind of angle.
Yeah, look, how it started, I'm not 100% sure. But back in those days, you didn't give a fuck how it started. You just cared about how it finished, and it was like, whatever, it's fucking on. But the funny thing was, it was with this ML versus it wasn't really ML versus WL, because like back then, like I was mates with Score. I was mates with Dream.
Would you say it's just between two people?
It was more so, again, talking about generations and stuff. WL was one of those, crews that had been around a while. So they were getting sort of like a second generation coming in, which was the OOC guys were like coming in, which was like Alone and I think Trust and Room. I can't remember exactly. Like Alone was the main one, but there was like it was the double OC guys that were coming in, and at that stage, they were getting up.
I specifically remember Alone being up all the time. So I guess that's where it kind of started with the who can get up more kind of thing. Is that what you?
Yeah. So there was a lot of that. It was like they're getting up. It's like no, fuck that. At that stage, we'll get up. It's like no, we want to be up. Like So then that's where it started. But there was obviously, I think there was some shit that went on between Clue and Alone, or like I say, I don't know the exact ins and outs of it, so I don't want to speak out of school in regards to that. But back then, mate, you're young, you're full of test, so you didn't give a fuck, mate. It was just like, fuck it on, let's just whatever. But look, it never really, like, there was a few punch ups and things like that. I know got into a couple of things with people I've long since squashed the beef with, and all this shit. This beef's all squashed like a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm talking about now, like fuck, we're all grown adults and shit now. When you think back to what you're doing in your 20s and that, it's like like I say, you're all full of adrenaline and other substances and stuff like that. And it was but it was then just more about who could get up the most and stuff. But it never, like a handful of times, because back then in those days, like, everyone kind of knew each other. The scene was kind of a lot smaller.
It was a bit smaller, yeah.
It was a bit smaller. Like there was, you knew any international or any big hip hop gig, everyone was going to be at. There was also a thing that used to go on. There's a nightclub in Redfern called Black Market. They used to have. I've
never heard of this.
Yeah, Black Market. Yeah. It ended up fucking bikies used to run it and ended up whatever. But anyway, it was a completely other story. But it was a wild thing. It was known for the day club, so it used to be like when the sun was up, that was when that was going. And I used to laugh because we used to go there a bit. It's like, this is all the people that shouldn't be on the streets during daylight hours are in this club. It was a
cause for drama.
The whole thing was black inside. But I think it was once a month they used to have a hip hop thing. This used to be a thing called the Studio there, and it was a big hip hop thing, and it was fucking mad. Like I say, this was a loose club. It was all. Because that was the other thing. The main thing, it was a fucking bondage club too. Like it used to. So there was all cages and shit in there.
So you'd walk in there with your fucking strap-ons and shit and be all sweet.
Yeah, all that sort of shit when those nights were on. And
not you, but like other people.
Yeah, but we'd be there after fucking partying. We'd be fucking off our heads on pingers and that. There's fucking 5T guys up dancing in cages or whatever, because the cages, not that then, but it was just the cages and all that is still there and that, like, just these dodgy dudes from Cabra and shit.
I remember that 5T, double drag and all that shit. Yeah.
But it was one of those things, it was just like, this is just a wild club. Anyway, but that's just what this club was like. So, and they used to have these hip-hop nights, and everyone used to bomb the place, and I don't think they really gave a fuck about people really bomb it.
It's a day club, mate.
It was just a loose place. But there was always things like that where you knew there was a good chance you're going to run it. So you always had to be prepared for beef and things like that. So, or any hip hop gigs or whatever, because you knew shit. You knew
other riders are going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but look, most of it was all kept on the lines and that. But like I say, a few times things came to punch ups and stuff like that. But nothing too.
Can you run me through any of those times where there was some punch ups, maybe?
Oh, not really. There was one in Newtown one time where I ended up belting someone. I'm not going to say who it was.
Fair enough. You don't have to say anything. You just say
but it was me and at that stage, I was with Siphon, so I wasn't even with any of the other ML boys or whatever. But it was kind of like you just, sometimes had to take care of business. And but look, a lot of it was more so kept to the lines and just battling that way as opposed to more physical.
I think most of the battle with WL and ML was mainly trains, and then there was an incident where Alone and someone else. I don't know. I've heard heaps of stories. I mean, I'm not an investigative journalist or whatever, but I've just heard stories. I'm just like, everyone's got their own opinions, all the rest of it. There was like a day where it was like I don't know, like a graffiti hip hop day, and then some shit happened one day. Were you there, or kind of thing, or?
No, no,
Oh, you weren't
yeah,
there?
with I don't know. I know there was one thing in the city where it was Muds and I were anyway. Long story short, it was like right, oh fuck, it's on. We're meeting at Hyde Park Fountain.
Oh, so there was an
Fucking
actual
go.
like date thing booked in, and
Yeah,
then like,
it's like
oh,
let's
we'll meet there
go.
and just sort it out.
Yeah, it's like let's go. Let's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
let's stop all this bullshit. Let's go. Let's go fucking punch it out. Like um and long story short, we got there, waited.
Didn't
No one ever
happen.
fucking turned up, and
Yeah, yeah.
Muds and I just sat there waiting. It was just like fuck you, but like yeah, so nothing ever came
Yeah,
from that.
okay.
But it was like I say, there would have been a lot of things like I don't recall. So the funny thing is, I don't even think I've ever crossed paths with Alone or even any of those guys that
Yeah.
I know of. So I don't. I also don't think they went to a lot of these hip hop things or that maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely I hadn't but yeah,
Yeah. Fair
run
enough.
into
All good.
yeah,
Um,
any issues all that there. So,
that's all right.
but yeah, we used to be, a lot of us used to be, rolling pretty thick there and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, anyway.
Yeah, sweet. Um, Mate, you're talking about, I think you mentioned you went overseas. Did you
Mm.
say you went overseas? Did you
Yeah.
paint trains over there or walls, or
Hmm.
where'd you go?
Everything,
Oh,
everything.
everything.
So
Fucking hell. All right, let's
yeah,
go. Jump into that.
yeah. So, me and Perso went over there. So,
Oh, rest in peace. Fuck.
yeah. He his mum and stepdad were renting a house in Germany for 3 or 4 months. So something to do with work, anyway. So it was like, okay, let's well, he was going over, and I'm like, yeah, right. I'm going to come over too. He's like, yeah, fucking mad, let's go. Anyway, so organised all this. This was 2000, and yeah, so I went over there, but if you knew Perso, you knew he was fucking the most unreliable prick. He would never turn up on time. He'd
Hey,
never.
most writers are that.
Yeah. Oh no, but he was way worse. He was just he took it
just
to the
the
nth
just the
degree.
butterfly, mate. Just floats along, does his own thing.
Yeah, just
Yeah, yeah,
fucking just no idea. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
anyway. And back in those days too, it was the early days of mobile phones. So a lot of this like phones weren't around and shit. Like it was like if
Yeah,
you're gonna be somewhere, you're gonna fucking be somewhere. Anyway,
yeah, yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
it was fucking hopeless. I remember just being on a plane, flying over to Germany, going, "Fucking hell!" I'm flying to the other side of the world to meet some bloke that he's fucking never turned. I'm like, "Oh, this is not going to end well." Like, I'm like, "Is he going to be there?" And I
Yeah.
remember getting off the plane and looking. I'm like, "Oh, fucking nothing's in English either." Jeez,
He wasn't at
yeah.
the airport waiting for you.
No, then he ended up was there. So I was like, "Fuck for that." I'm like, otherwise, I'm fucked over
I
here. But
was gonna
anyway,
say, yeah, yeah.
he was there, but we were very lucky because we were hooked up by Demote, so
Oh,
Demote like gave us because Demote was very good mates with Perso, so we got the who do you want to hook up with and go.
yeah, yeah.
So the first night we ended up we went and stayed with this bloke that writes Pinot over there. Anyway, he was like Gain was in Sydney. He was that for Europe. Like
Knew
he,
everything.
yeah, knew every like really good mates with Scene. Scene goes and stays with him all the
Fucking
time. It
hell.
was actually a spit out being in his place, and yeah. Anyway, there was like Scene and fucking PJ tags, in his attic and all this.
Fuck.
So yeah. It was just so we stayed with him for a bit, and then we went out to where this house was, which was so Frankfurt was where we flew into, so the main city. Then where they Perso's place that they rented was the equivalent of say Newcastle from Sydney. I was a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
hours away, so we went and stayed there, and yeah, so yeah, no, we painted with everyone. We were lucky because again, Demoted hooked us up with Can2, so we
what? Hang on a second.
Yeah. So
Can2 was one of my favorite riders, bro. So
yeah.
Did you paint with him?
Yeah, a few times.
What?
Yeah. Well, so we're staying with some of the SUK boys.
Holy
no, we painted I think it was twice we did a couple of
no way
with them. Yeah, with like him and Seamso.
You got to send me these photos so I can post it on my page when we post this chat.
Yeah. So,
have you still got the photos?
Yeah. Still got the photos and all that.
Sorry, continue.
So that was good. So we had that. Then and then Can2's kind of like, well, because we were planning on traveling around, we were just using that as a base to go around, and then he's like, like who do you want to hook up with, or was basically, just let us know who you want to go and write with, and I don't know. We hung out with a lot of just local guys, just doing panels and stuff like that. We went over to Switzerland. Switzerland was wild. Over to Basel there.
Interesting.
Infamous Basel line. That's when, like Sweat and Dare and all that were running pretty thick on there.
Okay.
So I remember we walked the lines there, and again, the rolls of 36 film, back in those times. I think we must have shot off about 8 rolls of 36 film. And mind you, we were only taking photos of good people, like product, like there was heaps of ones that just it was just unbelievable over there.
Wow.
The lines, but I do regret it was my birthday over there, and I remember Can2 said, "Oh look, I'll hook you up with Max over there." The guy he writes Smash one, I think. Smash 137.
I was going to say 137. Fuck. Yeah.
I think Max was his panel name. And
that changed quick, didn't it?
Yeah. So he rang up, but it was on my birthday, and it was, if you know Switzerland, I don't know if it's still the same, but it was in Basel. It was like Amsterdam. So you could buy weed, all that. Like there was like but it was like, I've still got sketchbooks with the little things you got out of the weed bags.
I thought you were saying you still had buds, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so like I wish. But so you could get that, but it wasn't like Amsterdam. There wasn't the cafes you sit in there and stuff. But you'd walk around, you could smell this anyway. So we were just partying and smoking and that. And he's like, "Look, I can take you for these panels. We'll have 15 minutes, 20 max." And
stop it.
It was kind of like, "Oh, nah, we're." Anyway, I wish now we had have gone and done those panels, but yeah, we ended up turning that one down. But a good mate of mine over there writes Says. SAYS, BGS crew. He came over here. He was living over here for a while. I became good mates with him. I ended up hooking him and Skew up together, and then that was Skew's first thing to getting overseas. That's when they were doing the BGS crew and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, Says took us out, so we would did some panels over in Switzerland.
You get your photos of all this stuff, yeah?
One of them we didn't get photos of.
Any of them I'll take.
Yeah, I've got ones from Germany. But yeah, Switzerland we didn't. But then it ended up appearing in a magazine at some stage. So I think I do have something
nice.
out of a Swiss mag. I never actually got it. We're also staying with another guy over there who writes crime. And he was a very big train rider, which we didn't probably find out till later on. He was another strange, even a fucking strange person.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry to stop you again, but was Can2 like in the vision of everyone in Sydney? Because Can2 for me was like huge because he had like a website. Yeah. And for me, seeing his stuff, and I saw the website, and I was like, oh, this is Can2. Was that kind of a thing for you guys? You knew who he was, or when he just turned up, you were like, you knew how big, like how good he was, or?
Oh yeah. No, he was massive when we went over there. Yeah, no, he was.
What year was this?
2000. So 2000 when the Olympics were on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he
Yeah, yeah.
was. No, he was. Yeah, he was.
That's probably when I
It was.
seen him first. Yeah, yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was funny when we're over there, and then these other like train guys that knew that we were going, and like, oh, like they really wanted to meet him and stuff like that. And
Right.
it's sort of like, oh, look, it's not our place to, then be bringing other
Yeah.
people on. But yeah, we did a couple of walls with him. We did one in where it's in where the location, the meeting of styles
Mm.
used to be on. So we did a wall with him there.
Wow.
That was actually a bit of a funny one because he's there. He goes, we're just going to do some basic pieces and stuff like that. Like, yeah, no worries, we're doing that. But next thing is he's ripping all this background around here. Even the other SUK guys are like, the fuck's going on?
Yeah, everyone's doing chromies and he's doing full colours.
Yeah, it's
full
almost like it's almost like you had to outdo everyone. But
yeah,
I don't know. I always like he was a top guy, and he was very accommodating to
yeah. I've
us.
heard. Yeah, I had
He was
Spice on the pod before, and she was saying that too.
But I just didn't feel like he enjoyed painting. I just felt like it would almost become like a job to him.
Yeah, I was going to say work.
Yeah, where the other SUK boys, they were good value. Like we'll stay in at their houses and just get on the piss.
Was it Kent? Was it Kent?
Yeah, we never
K-E-N-T?
Yeah, Kent. Yeah, I was always a massive. We never
I liked his style.
We never met like Kent. Atom, none of those other guys. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
They were these like another guy that will write. He writes seams though. He was doing a lot of that sort of 3D and wild.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the tags at the time. I can't remember.
Yeah, so it was a lot of the. Although seams though was probably pretty well known, but a few of the other boys like Mallets and all that, they were. And Attel was another one. He was kind of well known. But yeah, Mallets he was a character guy. He was all about characters and stuff like that, and used to do these wild dragons and
you got into characters too, yeah.
Yeah. I used to do a bit of characters and stuff like that. Like and I always like that. I never really got fucking good at it.
But I mean, I've seen some photos of them. And they're pretty good. So I mean, they're better than my Cartoon Network characters. But yeah,
I used to have a crack and stuff. But
man,
it was never.
Mad. Yeah. Did you get any? Did you do characters over there too and try and fucking mix it up with those guys or not?
Over that stage, it was like. When you went over there, and around 2000, we went over there, it was like, mate, this is the fucking big leagues over here. Yeah. It was just.
You're not trying anything new.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, mate, I'm just trying to keep my head above water over here, let alone trying to impress them with anything. But so it was because they had all this paint. Like at that stage, like we'd had proper paint had come into obviously Australia and that, but over there they just had heaps of it. It was everywhere,
and it was cheaper for them as well, right? Because over here it got shipped over and it was too expensive. We couldn't afford it over here.
Yeah. Well, that's where it was made. But over there, it was seen as a legitimate art form. Like it was almost. We're still over here. It was like you're a fucking criminal.
Yeah, like, that's true.
And I've got to admit, I think I kind of. After that trip to Europe was when I came back, and I kind of then just phased out of riding a bit because it just I don't know, just it felt like you were just treated like a criminal over here. It's obviously changed a lot now. I
it's weird, but what you're saying, it's like over in Europe and America, they all embrace it. And then you're over here in Sydney and cunts are like, you're criminals. We're spending all this taxpayer money on all this bullshit. Yeah,
exactly.
And it's like, well, why don't you just help us out? And like, everyone loves looking at graffiti, man. I mean, look at Newtown, man. Like, it's like everyone loves it, but I don't like the tags. It's like, come on, man. Like
one thing I'll say, like the Basel line, which is just infamous. It's like the central station where all these different things came. So there's just lines and walls everywhere. It was something along the lines. If you got caught on the lines, it was like a $30 fine or something. That's all it was.
That's fine.
So that's why people were going.
That's a fine.
With like doing full ladders and stuff like that. And doing crazy productions, but. as soon as you stepped off the lines, it was like no tags, no nothing. It was just clean. It was just like, it was almost like the riders had gone, we're kind of getting a free run here on the line. We're just going to keep it there. So a little bit of, and this used to be the downfall of a lot of legal laws and that in Sydney. Yeah, we're going to paint. Then everyone just starts bombing, and then just like
that
just
is a
fucking
fucking
kills.
problem, eh?
And then next thing it's like, well, no, this is getting shut down because everyone's tagging the roads and shit like that.
That's a fucking great concept. Like,
and yeah, so that's what it felt like. It felt like the riders there were like, nah, we know that we've, this is a good deal. So they kind of, I'm not saying there wasn't tags around, but not like, what Newtown or Sydenham Wall and that used to be like everywhere, around.
Well, imagine if they had that with trains. Just it's a $30 fine, but we'll just buff the windows and just keep it on there. Oh, how mad's that?
Or just don't paint the windows.
Don't worry about the Coca-Cola fucking whole car that's there. Just, you can do your thing and then we'll just buff the windows a little bit. Fine.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was, that was good. So, we did there. We also went to London and we're hanging out with Mina, who, again, he's real geezer. He was very much a big bomber.
So jump,
fucking shut up, whatever.
Jump back into the what was it, Mensa?
Mina,
Mina,
PFB guy over there. So we're hanging out with him and party. He's another very old school rider from London and. It was fun, that Europe trip. It was some wild times, a lot of partying, a lot of piecing. Also got locked up in Germany. So
hang on. Don't brush over this one, brother. Run me through this story. Let's go.
This was a drunken night out, and anyway,
did you piss on a cop or something?
No, we were coming back and there's the Rhine River that runs along there, and they have all these like cruise boats that. Anyway, there was one on a park there, and I think it was empty, but like workers were on cleaning up, maybe getting ready for another cruise or something. Anyway, me and Perso were pissed. We're coming back from this place. Anyway, we've fucking run on and we've run through and just been louts anyway, and then taken off. But it was probably enough that they called the cops on us. Anyway, so we didn't know. Needless to say, we're still wandering through the park, pissed. And then next thing, there's this flagpole there, and next thing, Perso ran up and grabbed it, and it's gone and bent a little bit. It's like, okay, I ran up and jumped on it.
Oh no!
When they were both having go, and then we're hanging off this pole. The next thing we just hear, the cops have pulled in underneath us.
What was it? A German flag?
Yeah, no, it was just there was no flag on there. It was just the pole.
Oh, right.
They'd obviously come because the people off the boat or whatever had.
Right.
So they were then, and it was all along this foreshore and park there. Anyway, like imagine it kind of like a Hyde Park, but along a river type thing. And then next thing, the cops have just come underneath. The next thing we've dropped, and they're just fucking yelling at us in German, and we're just
nine.
And we're just going, no. And then next thing, because we've just dropped, and we're just like all we can say is we're Aussies, we're Aussies. And they're like, oh fuck you, and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, slammed us on the bonnet and stuff on it. Anyway, then took us down to the station, and then we got locked up for like 24 hours in the cells. So first I got put into one, I got put into the other cell. So mine had a toilet in it, and
luxury.
Perso's had a heated slab of cement on there. So they were the two luxuries in each of these cells were locked in for. But they took all our shoelaces and everything. It was like, come on, guys, mate, we're not going to kill ourselves over.
Yeah, exactly.
Over this, but. Anyway, we got locked up for 24 hours, and then, funnily enough, very funnily, we got fined the exact amount of money that we had in our wallets, which was very strange.
Interesting.
And funnily enough, we didn't even have to get the money out. The money was just taken, and they were the fines. And
wow.
It was so dodgy.
So it was just a free hotel.
Pretty much, just a hotel for the night, and then then we were just released out into the wild again. But yeah, so another little funny story, just being locked up in another country. So yeah, but
nice,
that
man.
was a fun trip.
Did you ever go to New York?
No, never been to America.
Oh, it's on the bucket list, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get over to New York. My wife's been there, and I've said before, like I'd love to get over there and have a look and see. But no, not been to the States at all. So that was my only European trip where we did like we went to Thailand, we did Germany, Switzerland, Greece.
Oh wow.
And UK, like not in that order, but that was all I'd done. So not been. Well, I've been to other countries like Fiji and stuff like that, but not like.
Mate, well, you're fucking well travelled, man. So I think for most young people, man, I think it's I travelled when I was really young, and I think it kind of grounds you, and you get to see different cultures and stuff. So I think for any young person, go out and travel, learn about different cultures, and then come back and start doing some work or whatever. But holidays, holidays overseas, man, you can't beat it, man. I reckon,
it's and as when you get older and you got kids, that becomes harder. Like my kids are always like, "Oh, let's go here, let's go there." And I'm like,
"Can't afford it."
I went, "Yeah," and then always like, "Oh, you're the one that says no." I went, "Yeah, because someone's got to fucking pay for it." I went, "You guys are just putting it. Oh, let's go to Japan or something." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck, I want to go to Japan too if I was getting a free trip." I went, "Mate, when you guys start paying for it, then
I was going to Thailand every year before I had you little bastards, but now I got to pay for 4 flights instead of 1.
Yeah, before life handbrake.
Nah, it's cool. So. It's cool. Yeah. You get a bit older, you get to afford to take your kids on holidays now, which I'm doing now, which is really cool. So mate, I think we've done quite a bit, man. It's almost been 2 hours. So
I've got another. I know.
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
I do have another cracker of a story.
Come on.
Involved. Yeah.
Flop it out.
this is what I was touching on before. So this was how the infamous Rose Hill layup came about.
Oh
so
yeah. You told me about that.
Yeah, I was working in printing, and anyway, there was this old woman that used to work there with me, and at this stage, I was painting, pretty heavily the lines and stuff like that. I hadn't done panels because I'd still, after all the shit I'd been through, I really dropped off panels after going through a lot of courts and just stuff like that, which I do regret because my panel count ended up a shit lot lower than all my other mates and that what they were racking up. So there was a lot of missions I missed out. Anyway, so I was working there, and anyway, she was a mad gambler. Older woman, loved gambling, and her husband was a train driver. And anyway, she ended up used to bang on about these race trains or whatever. I'm like, fuck. Anyway, so just
interesting.
It always got on every so often. We've got the race train this weekend. Then eventually, after a while, my ears started pricking up, and I sort of extracted a bit of information without too much. She didn't. Funnily enough, there was another old RBS guy that used to work with us as well, but she had no idea about the graffiti side of it. Never knew anything about that, but she would have fucking hated that because her husband was a train driver.
Yeah, for sure.
Lifelong in the trains, and anyway, and she was probably well into her mid to late 60s at this stage. Anyway, so eventually I found out. I'm like, oh, okay, well they're fucking weighing these things, and I'm like, this is bullshit. This has got to be too good to be true. So, and I knew exactly where she was talking about because we used to paint the abandoned buildings there. It was an old James Hardy place. So, anyway, so we found out one time when it was on, and we went down, and at this stage, I think it was me, Siphon, Dyke, Scum, all this. This was also getting to the yards. We broke down the battery died in the car. Happened to be near this little shop. Siphon went in and racked the fucking car battery. Like, if you know how heavy that is.
What a sick cat. Shout out to Siphon for making the dream happen.
Yeah, but he made it happen. So anyway, we've all gone there. Also, Vibe was there, another guy, another TPC guy who used to write Vibe. Anyway, we rocked up to and was like, holy fuck, there's a train there.
Oh.
It's fucking, we're like, no way. Like, fuck. So we've had paint and all that, but so we went in there and we did panel. Siphon and I panelled. Dykes and Scum. Vibe was just hanging out. He was just there for fun. Siphon and Scum sketched up but didn't fit because we never really were expecting trains to be there. It was like,
so you tested it out kind of thing.
Yeah, this is like bush. Anyway, so it was like fuck, and that it was just. I was shitting bricks. I've panelled in the middle of the day, and it's like this is
no one's done this before.
Yeah, but the other thing you had to be sketchy of there too a bit, like we found out later on, some of the guards and that had no interest in the races away, so they'd sleep in the train and just hang out in the train. So you had to be careful and you had to clear the carriages and make sure no one was there. So anyway, so we had that on lockdown. No one knew about it. So it was just, so at that stage, it was TPC ML. We used to just fucking go and hit that place. And then eventually, a while later, it got found out about. And that's when, then just Zombie and all, the OSF and TM got that. So then it got hammered and then at that stage. But yeah, a lot of good panels rolled out of that place. But okay, so back then in the midst of the the MLWL thing, we're like, okay, we need to do a big fuck you statement. So we need to really rock something here. So at this stage, whole cars weren't rolling.
Yeah, they weren't a thing too much, eh?
I don't think so. To me, the first, and I'm not saying no whole cars were done properly. The first record, the first thing I can remember of some actual whole cars coming out was the Zombie and all them doing the big ones, but they had a huge amount of blue background.
I was going to say backgrounds were a big thing and a big piece.
But these were just plain blue backgrounds.
They
were like a top to bottom, door to door.
Yeah, because top to bottoms were a thing back then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a whole like full piece outline across the whole thing. It was like a top to bottom or a little bit down from the top and then background everywhere.
Yeah. So there was that. So I remember the first time. That was the first time the whole carriage had been done. So, there was a lot of the blue background. It was just plain blue. They ended up going on to fucking rocking these crazy
huge missions,
like up the ones like legal walls. And stuff. But, so anyway, so at this stage, like none of this shit was real. So it was like, fuck it, we're doing a big 2-letter fucking ML whole car with a big character in it. So I got tasked with doing the character. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to get all this in proportion and shit like that?
There's no projectors back then.
No. So anyway, prior to that, we'd been out. We were racking for months, and we had just all heaps of this paint. Anyway, we had cleared out all these Bunnings and stuff. Fucking Bunnings Ashfield was empty of paint, and anyway, so we had all this stuff. Now we went down. We stashed ladders. We had everything stashed down there. So anyway, we all rocked in so the day to do this. It was like, fuck, it's on. And yeah, we've been out the night before. So anyway, it's on. Okay, we're down there. Then when we got in there, it was like, the fucking ladders are gone. And we're like, man, we're sussing it out. We're doing it. The smart thing would have been to do is to go, fucking abort mission. This is not smelling right. But too much testosterone, too many feeling like
too many beers.
Fucking it's
too
on
many fucking whatever.
Yeah. So like we're there, we've got fucking, people like skews standing up on people's shoulders. We've got like auto bins on top of auto bin, like the sketchiest of shit. Like, it was surprising no one died, but we're all this makeshift stuff. Because, mind you, we weren't on and that was also when some of the top to bottoms came around and that where people were doing some things like that, they were on platforms. This wasn't.
Yeah.
So the train's gigantic. So
they're fucking huge, bro. They're massive. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing all this makeshift shit to try and, get up, as well as trying to then be able to get stuff in proportion. Anyway, we're thick into it. We're ripping in. We're fucking, going hard. We're a good chunk getting through it. And then all hell broke loose, just fucking whoop, fucking cop cars come. Because mind you, you could drive into these, like you could drive up to the train.
Yeah, yeah.
Cop cars come fucking flying in, lights, glare and everything. It was like, fuck. We all just broke out. We all took off, just fucking ran. I ran this way, and everyone else went that way. Anyway, I got lost. I was by myself, and here I am again going, mate, I just can't cop a fucking break in the yards, mate. I get chased so many times. It's just like, mate, I'm fucking cursed. Like, absolutely cursed. I'm going to get fucked over this time now. They're really
they're going to fucking throw the book at you.
Yeah, I'm like, this is going to be not good. So anyway, we're running through. It's all abandoned buildings. There's fucking shipping containers. I'm ducking, I'm jumping barbed wire fences and everything. Anyway, mind you, the races are all going on just over.
Yeah, that's
over
fucking hilarious. Can't having a mad time.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember I ended up on top of this shipping container, and I'm like, I don't know where anyone else was. It's still sort of here, and I'm just laying there, just going like, fuck, laying on top of the thing. There's all like trees around, just like going, fuck. And mate, I still don't know how I didn't hear this. I don't know whether it was the adrenaline, or I don't know whether it was just the way it was. I'm laying there, and there's some trees running around. I'm like, next thing, fucking fucking like not this fucking helicopter was just hovering above there, and I'm like, it felt like it was like I could have like high fived. It was fucking like it was enough that I could clearly see the pilot's like face, and I'm like,
spotlight.
Fuck! It felt like it was Apocalypse Now or something. This thing just popped out from out of there, and I'm like, and they're just hovering there, and I'm like, fuck! So I've just hit the legs, bang, 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 running back through, and started to run out the entrance where you came into this yard, where all the cops would have come through. At this stage, all these seckers are piling in.
Oh yeah.
The seckers that dress up like tactical police, but they're not.
Yeah.
Like, they
got
look
the
like
vests on.
That is, all that. They've got this thing. They look the whole bit, but it's like, you're plastic cops. So anyway, it was like, oh, fuck, mate, it's fight or flight here. So it was like, I ended up just grabbing this pole and just trying to club my way out of it. I just started fucking whacking cunts, just fucking bang, bang, bang. Dumbest move I could have ever made, because there was about 12 of them. So I was never going to get away. All I was managing to do was rack up more charges for myself. So anyway, I just started clubbing people and that, and then next thing they just fucking pummeled me to the ground. And anyway, and then I was done. They were all just sitting on me. I'm just there, and mind you, again, we'd been out on the piss the night before.
Getting a little bit aggressive
in the city. Yeah. Anyway, so I remember eventually then when the cops came. They ended up, as soon as I stood up, I just spewed everywhere because I'd been so compressed and held
I know where I am.
It was just like, and then anyway, so I managed to, then the cops came and took me. They originally took me into a holding cell in,
You there?
Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Sorry, it just froze up. Sorry, I had a low battery thing come up. Anyway, so I ended up getting taken into a holding facility in the actual races, and the dumb fucks let me clean my hands up, and then they go, what? So I ended up fucking taking paint off my hands and stuff like that. Anyway, did all that. Then they took me to, I think it was Granville Police Station. Anyway, I've rocked in there, and I'm walking in again going, fucking dumb fuck, it's me. It's me on my own. Like, just, then I've walked past this room, and I've looked in there, sitting in this room, fucking Skew, Who, Clue, Muddles, Hence, fucking
the dream team.
Like, just mate, it's just all of Sydney's prolific riders were in that one thing there, and all the ground was wet. And I remember saying to the cop, "Does this fucking guy's piss themselves, or what the fuck's going on there?" And he goes, "No, they've been for a swim." Long story short, found out they swam Parramatta River.
I heard about this story.
Yeah, they fucking swam Parramatta River. So it all got snapped because we were getting chased by a fucking chopper. No one was getting away. So the cops just nabbed them all on the other side. Anyway, they were all scooped up there. So anyway, we're all in there. I got taken into another holding facility or whatever, and then they all got let go, and I think it was Clue or someone was saying, "Oh, what's happening with our other mate?" They're like, "Oh no, he's got a lot more shit to go on with because he's fucking assaults and all this sort of stuff."
Oh,
Anyway,
true.
long
Yeah.
story long, well, not long story short, but long story long. We got away with $300 worth of fines each. It was like one was a $200 fine for something, one was another $100 fine.
I think it was a bit different back then, man, compared to now.
It was, yeah. And it was like, but I'm like, you fucking dumb fucks. Like you had all these people that you're probably out there trying to catch. You had them there, and you let everyone go. Like,
yeah, because imagine if they looked into each one of them.
Yeah, and it's like each one of them, and then like what Stu ended up going on to become and stuff like that. Not he had but anyway, it was just like they had a lot of the people at that stage was smashing a lot of panels there, but we all got away. I was kept in a lot longer. They were let go. They were in a cab going back, and apparently they got to see the unfinished whole car roll across Parramatta Road. They were stopped there. They got to see it roll past. No one ever got flicks of it.
I was gonna say, did anyone get photos of it?
No one.
So it's a myth. You didn't do it.
Yeah, it 100%. It's like it could be a figment of my imagination. I don't know.
And you did the character too.
I still have the fines. I think in my sketchbook.
How far along did you get with the character? Almost finished, or?
I can't. No. It was.
Oh, so it's early days kind of thing.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I don't
half
think
SketchUp, half field.
Yeah, like half SketchUp starting. Because the hard thing with it was like trying to keep it all in proportion. Like it was like fucking massive. Trying to keep this thing in proportion. So look, at the end of the day, the character probably was looking like a bag of shit anyway. So it was probably the best thing. I probably would have been happy to cop the $300 fine and not see it. But yeah, no, it would have been good. But no, nothing's ever surfaced of it. No one's ever.
That would have been fucking iconic.
It was the big fuck you statement, but unfortunately it never came to fruition. That was it was one wild chase story, and
man.
They all and I think it was I don't think Huda could swim either. And they went across. I think someone's about to fucking drag him across in the back, like there's like backpacks and stuff on. And
yeah, I've heard this story a couple of times, from other people, but
it was pretty wild. So it was after that, then I never went back there, and then like I say, then word had definitely got out because we'd had a good half a dozen or more missions there. Then by this stage, you can't keep stuff secret for too long.
Man.
Word got out, and then it was getting regularly pumped and stuff like that. So
now it's not there anymore. So
no, it's all gone now. So, that was
wow, man. Fuck.
Good times.
Fuck, thanks for sharing that, man. That's fucking wild.
Funny.
Yeah, we might wrap it up.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up now. Actually, it's been a couple of hours. So, mate, can you give me any advice for life advice, and then we'll go into graph advice.
Life advice?
Yeah, man. You look like you got yourself sorted now after all the troubled times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I'm a completely different person to I was back then. I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, you would have fucking hated me back then.
She'd laugh at you, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, she'd be like, you're a fucking dickhead and stuff like that. But no, just treat people how you want to be treated. Like, there's going to be times people are going to be fuckwits. Well, yeah, you meet them, with the same thing, the same shit the energy they give you give back. But mate, if you just generally be nice and just be a good person, you're just going to surround yourself with good people. But just every so often you got to just fucking knock someone down a peg or two that's just been a bit of a fuckwit. I'm not going to say you're going to go through life and everyone's going to be nice, but just treat people how you want to be treated, and I think you'll generally have a good go at it.
Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, I think every single person has said that. So, I mean, it's fucking true, man. Just be nice. Don't be a fuckwit.
It's simple. It's cliche. Yeah, look, it's easy to say when I'm on, but I'm not no pillar of excellence or anything that I should be giving advice to. I've learned everything.
It's funny me asking people to give me advice. But I mean, everyone's gone through some shit in their life in the graffiti scene, so it's good to hear people like yourself that have come out the other side. I mean, some people don't get out the other side and they're still locked up, you know what I mean? So it's good to hear some positive stuff that we can give to the young people, you know what I mean? So whatever you can give, and whatever other graffiti writers have come out the other side can give. It's always a positive thing. So
there's a lot that don't come out the other side, and that was the thing.
Man.
I saw a lot of people die, and a lot of people go to jail and go down the other path. So it is good to come out the other side and not have gone down that road. So
yeah. So mate, jump into some graph advice, man.
Oh, mate, fuck, mate. The graph game is so far ahead of me. I can give advice to no one. Like,
but you know, mate, you've done some stuff. So I mean, take me, like, say if you were in your prime and stuff, what would you give to like a younger writer coming up?
Just be true to yourself. Don't like, everyone's always going to be influenced by people, but don't try and be someone that you're not. Just be yourself, and just develop your own style. Like, look, it's hard now because everything's been sort of done. Well, not everything, but like a lot of stuff's been done. It is very hard, but yeah, just be true to yourself, and just just be your own person. Don't try and be someone else. Don't try and just try and be another version of someone else. But that's about it. But mate, the game's unbelievable now. Like, I'm scared to piece these days. Like, it's just
scared. What are you scared about, mate? Look at you. You're a fucking big beef unit.
I mean, like, I've been out recently. Recently in the last 5 years, like, painted with, like, good mates like Fibs and Bones and Puddle and not name dropping or anything, but it's like, you're trying to piece next to them, guy.
Yeah, I suppose if you've been out of the game for so long, it's a bit hard to get back in. Maybe you can start with me first and then go into Puddle and Bones.
I'm doing stuff next to them. It's taking me 4 hours to do something. They're knocking out something, but it's just rinse and repeat stuff. They're doing it all the time. But no,
of course, mate. Maybe we can get you back into the game. I reckon that's going to be my goal for 2026, bro. Get Dane back into the game. Actually. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, no, man. I really appreciate you jumping on the podcast, man. It's been in the works for a while, so
like I say, it was just, I was a big player in the scene. Like, I was never one of the big names out there, but I hung around. I knew a lot of people. I was in around amongst it, but I wish I had been more active and done more panels, but unfortunately, my luck in the yards fucking just got the better of me. Got happened too many times.
Yeah. Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. So, Dame, awesome. ML, TPC, fucking rattle off all the other ones, but whatever, man. It's, ADC, share if you want to shout out any of the boys or whatever, mates, misses, whatever.
No, just anyone out there that's still getting up. Anyone that's still out there doing trains, man, that's a fucking hard gig these days. With all the surveillance, all the shit, it's like, mate, props to you. Some of the shit I see get done, it's like, keep doing it.
Keep graffiti alive.
Keep it alive.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, man. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Cheers, bro.